going on, everybody? Welcome to Do To Bet Daily special Super Bowl edition. It is Super Bowl Sunday. I'm pretty excited. I think we're going to have a very good game here. I've been kind of crunching it down and changed one of my opinions overnight, which is interesting, and also got a lot stronger on one of my opinions. So I am excited to talk about this game. We'll start with you, Aaron. What are you looking forward to most here?
Man, just this game to start. You know, it feels like this is the first year we've done the show where the Super Bowl's been involved. Obviously, we started it after the Super Bowl last year. And it kind of feels like the Kentucky Derby in a way this year, where we've talked about it for 2 weeks and it's time. I'm just ready for the game to get here. It's a totally different experience when you're actually like covering it day by day.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to talk about it, like you said, for that 2-week lead up. And especially this year with the injuries that we had coming in and both quarterbacks being a little banged up and kind of how things have adjusted over the 2 weeks and the line movement, where we saw this game open Chiefs -2.5. Literally in 30 minutes, it flips to Eagles -2.5. We're down to Chiefs or Eagles -1, and it is trending to get back to somewhere right around the pick'em by game time, which is crazy, Papa Dude. What do you think this spread actually closes at? We've seen the total go up to 51 today. We've seen the line go down to -1. Do you think we kind of stay there? Or do you think it moves a little bit more?
I don't know. It may get to even. It might. I think probably people are deciding that Mahomes is okay. Maybe that's what's driving it down a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, I saw it was 1 this morning. We got it at 1.5 yesterday, 1.5, 1, not much difference. I've got to find something to do till 5:30 because I can't watch that shit. I just cannot watch that shit all afternoon.
Pregame is bad.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I got to give props to every other sport because they all did this right. NHL, NBA, college basketball, all the games are before the Super Bowl. There isn't anything that's trying to go head-to-head with the Super Bowl. It's kind of nice. We got 4 NHL games, a couple NBA games. We'll talk about a couple of college basketball games as well. But we're going to do things a little differently here today. Papa Dude, I know you're excited about this. We are giving out 3 best bets today. We're going to do 2 Super Bowl best bets for each person. We got Magic's on here as well. And then we'll give out a non-Super Bowl best bet on the day as well. So we're going to give out basically 12 best bets here in the next 30 minutes, which is kind of crazy. We got to start out with the Super Bowl, right? So let's talk Super Bowl sides and totals here to kick it off. Right now, we got Eagles -1. We've got the total sitting at 51. I'll start out with Magic since he's not here. He's going to go and take the under 51, which is something I liked before this morning. And I'm kind of flipped over to the over here the more that I've dug into it. I think the Chiefs are going to struggle stopping the run from the Eagles, and the Eagles are going to struggle stopping the pass from the Chiefs, which could lead to and you could end up with a big-time game here with both teams in the mid-20s, low 30s. Aaron, where are you on the total here?
I was under for the longest time. I'm kind of with you. The more it gets closer, I'm like, well, the Eagles are probably going to run the ball pretty well. Yeah, I don't know if that Eagles defense will stop a real quarterback. I switched to over. I'm going over the total now of 51. On Thursday, Pop Dude and I talked about it. And I said, I'm going to go under. I think it's going to be under. Gets closer. It just kind of feels like there's going to be points. I'm going over.
Yeah, I was under until this morning, and now I'm on the over. I flipped over just after listening to a couple more things and diving more into those stats. Papa Dude, where are you on this total here sitting at 51?
Well, let's just make it unanimous. How about that? I'm the same way. I've kind of changed. I thought the score is going to be 24-21. I've kind of changed my mind to 28-24. So let me go over. So I'm going to do the same thing.
And that is why you got to love gambling. We got Magic's best bet from the side and total, the under 51, and the 3 people on the show all leaning toward the over. Although, to be fair, none of us making our best bets there. No. We do have the side sitting here at Eagles -1. You both have the same best bet from a side or total perspective. Mine's a little different, but similar kind of idea of what you guys are doing here. Aaron, you want to kick it off here? What's your best bet, side or total?
I'm going Chiefs plus it was 1.5. Now it's 1. That doesn't make any difference to me. I think they're going to win the game. You could just go Chiefs money line if you wanted. Wouldn't hate that either, obviously. Look, I think they're the better team, and I think they're a more experienced team. They've been here, done that. I think they've got the better quarterback. I think the whole key to the game is stopping the Eagles' run. I think they'll do it well enough. I think the Chiefs are right this year. I think it's theirs. To be fair, I thought that the last time they were here, and it really wasn't a competitive game. So I was wrong about it the last time they were sitting right here. But I think they're the better team. I think they played the better teams as well. I'm going Chiefs.
Papa Dude?
Well, I can't really add anything to that because that's exactly what I'm doing. And I've been on the Chiefs all year. I think in 17 games, I picked the other team once, I believe, and that's when they played the Bengals in Cincinnati. So I just don't think the Chiefs are going to lose this game. The experience part of it is really a bunch of why I think they're going to win. I think you got to go through this a little bit, and they've been there. This is old hat to them. Mahomes he's ready for this. I think this is a game that seals their whole thing. I mean, if he can win another Super Bowl, and if they can win another Super Bowl, paying him that $50 million a year is worth every penny of it. And I think this is the one that's going to get it done. If they lose this game, that is really a bad deal for the Chiefs. I really think it is, because can you see them maybe starting to get a little older and that salary cap begins to come into play and they may have to lose some of these guys?
Yes, I think this is you're starting to kind of see it anyway coming into this season. It didn't matter. Anytime you have Mahomes, you got a shot, but that window, it doesn't stay open very long in the NFL. When you get to the Super Bowl, you better win it. And if they lose 2 out of the 3 they get to, I'm kind of with Papa Dude. I don't love that for the Chiefs. That's a bad sign.
Yeah.
Not so fast, my friends. I think this is the worst Chiefs team we're going to see in the next 4 years. I think their defense is young and going to get better and better.
It is getting better.
And Mahomes is going to have a better defense than we've seen. They only have $14.5 million of their salary cap in the wide receiver room right now. So they are really low there. They can flip those wide receivers around and kind of pick someone new, hopefully draft someone successful. Kelsey getting older is obviously a concern there because you're going to have to somehow find a way to get that production back. But I think this defense is going to be good in the next couple years. I think they've gotten better if you look at the metrics throughout the season as well. They are 32nd in the red zone. We've heard that a bunch. But if you look at the last 8 weeks of the season, they're a top 10 defense in the NFL as those rookies kind of got more acclimated to the speed of the game and understanding the scheme a little bit better. So I think Kansas City's window is just starting to open, which is scary as hell when you think about it. But I do agree with you guys. 2-1 in the Super Bowl sounds a hell of a lot better than 1-2, doesn't it? And if you're trying to get to Brady's 7, you can't lose 2 of your first 3 before you're 25. It's just not going to happen. So massive game from a legacy perspective for Mahomes and the Chiefs. And really, this seals them as the dynasty if they're able to win this second one here of the kind of 2020s, right? So monster game from a legacy perspective for the Chiefs.
Yes.
I bet the Chiefs preseason. I like the Chiefs today. I'm not going to put more on it because of my preseason bet I have. For my best bet sides or totals, I found something that I think is just a wrong line. If you go over to bookmaker.eu, if you are playing on any international books, Chiefs first half team total is 10.5 minus 130. That's way too low. This should be like 13.5. I would be very surprised if the Chiefs aren't in double digits. I expect them to come out and be able to move the football early, specifically with the scripted plays set up from Andy Reid. Give me the over Chiefs team total first half, 10.5 as my side bet. All 3 of us like the Chiefs. All 3 of us like the over. Magic taking the under is his best bet. Let's jump into some prop talk now. We've talked about this the last couple days. A ton of bets out there. I think there's close to 700 props available depending on where you're looking. So just a smorgasbord of options here. We'll start with Magic's again, which I like quite a bit here. He's taking Kelsey and Goddard both over 50 yards at plus 140. Thought that was a heck of a number to get them both over 50. The world is on the Kelsey overs. Are you concerned at all that like every single person I've talked to is betting Kelsey over or Kelsey touchdown in some way? Usually that means they all lose, right? I mean, you got to be a little concerned, Aaron.
You look every game, you would have to think the defense that's playing the Chiefs goes, we got to shut down Kelsey. And he never gets shut down. I can't explain it. I can't. I don't know how he does it. He's kind of like Cooper Kupp in that way. It's like every week it's like, all right, Koppel, before he got hurt, obviously, Koppel get like 20. And he gets 100 every game. Yeah, I mean, it's concerning. To me, the Chiefs have one main weapon after, Kelsey, and that's Mahomes. And Mahomes is throwing to Kelsey, so just take Kelsey away. But it's not that easy. I like it, actually. I think he'll go over until he proves us otherwise, guys. I think you have to go over with his props.
Yeah, the Eagles have been a predominantly zone defense. You know what Kelsey eats for lunch?
Yep.
Some defenses.
Okay.
I mean, it's got to be scary, Papa Dude, if you're staring down the barrel and you're letting Kelsey run into an empty spot.
Exactly. And if he doesn't go over 50, we're all going to lose our bets on each.
Yes. Big time.
Yeah, we'll just toss it in right now. So.
All right. For my prop, I'm going to go to one I mentioned, I believe it was on Thursday on the show. Give me Kansas City longest field goal minus 120. Talked about it quite a bit. I've just become more and more like, first off, there's a narrative around when you play Kansas City, you can't settle for field goals. Sirianni doesn't want to settle for field goals anyway. I would be surprised if they even attempt something around the 45 to 50 yard range. Andy Reid will take those damn points. He will kick those field goals. It's a wonderful kicking environment. Butker has been a little shaky 50 plus, but he's going to get the opportunities at long field goals that I do not think the Eagles will get. I think Philadelphia is going to have to score to be able to win this game. Pretty obvious statement, right? But I think they're going to want to put up 7 at a time versus 3 at a time. I don't think they try long field goals. I think Kansas City does. That gives Kansas City a massive edge in the who will kick a longer field goal in the game bet. So give me Kansas City minus 120 to kick the longest field goal in the game. Aaron, what do you like?
It's kind of the same kind of situation. I think there's going to be field goals and long ones from Kansas City tonight. I'm going over 97.5 scoring yards total for Kansas City, I should say. So basically, what that means is if they kick a 45-yard field goal, where that's 45 yards, it goes towards that total. I think 97.5 is low because of what Somich is talking about. They kick a lot of field goals. You look at them this year, they have a lot of field goals in that 40-yard range. If you get 2 of them, this bet is most likely going to cash. I think we're going to get that and plus some. So I'm going 97.5 yards total over for that for scoring plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, Butker total points is 7.5. So 2 field goals, two extra points essentially, and that's plus 110 as well. So if you like those field goal ideas, I think that Butker over 7.5 probably makes sense as well. Papa Dude, what prop are you going to for today's game?
I'm going to go with the one I talked about yesterday. I'm going over 1.5 interceptions. Almost any game you see anywhere, there's at least 2 interceptions in a game, and I just think that'll happen today. I got a feeling Jalen Hurts may throw them both. We'll see. So I just think there's a very good chance you're going to get 2 interceptions in a game. So that's the one I'm going with, getting plus money. I think that happens.
I also put in a teaser, Chiefs plus 7.5 over 44.5 this morning. When we could still get the 1.5 and the 50.5. I still like the Chiefs and over teaser as well. Like I said, the more I got into it today, the more I felt that was the direction we're going to go. All right, let's jump into the rest of today's games. We've got an appetizer here. We've got the Memphis Grizzlies heading into Boston to take on the Celtics. Celtics laying 4, total sitting at 227.5 here. Papa Dude, who do you like here?
Well, I was going to make this my best bet, and I got to look, and Jaylen Brown is out, and Smart is out also for the Celtics. I still think they're going to win, but it made me decide I'm not going to do that one because the Grizzlies are a good team, and they need this game. They don't play well against Boston. So we need Magic here to go into all of that, which I'm sure he would have had he been here. So I didn't make it my best bet, but they are at home. It's on a Sunday. It's hard to beat them there. So I'm going to go the Celtics to win, but I'm a little bit afraid because Brown is out.
I kind of like the under here a little bit because of those injuries you mentioned. The Grizzlies, one of the worst fourth quarter scoring teams, but do play good defense, have your most likely defensive player of the year and Triple J on their team as well. So I kind of like the under 227, even though it is a lower total here for an NBA game. Aaron, what are you thinking?
Under. I do like that under as well. Papa Dude pointed out the injuries, and I think it'll be a little bit more of a slower game for NBA. Celtics also. I like the Celtics today.
We got some constitutionalist love in the first. I actually had this horse as one of my picks before they went on to synthetic. I want to see this horse back on turf. We got switched off today, which I thought was a real bummer. I love this Gulfstream Park card when it was on turf. I still like it on synthetic, but I loved it on turf. We're about to head to the gate here for the first. Aaron, who do you like in the first real quick?
The 3 is going to be tough. I think that's the horse you're going to have to get around. Another one that I use, though, I thought our flag flying, the 5 horse, made a little bit of sense as well. Sayaz getting aboard here. And I think the surface switch will help the 5 in this case. So I went 3-5. I went pretty short. One other long shot that I thought about, well, kind of a middle price, not really a long shot, but the number 1 at 6-1 makes a little sense to me as well. So you're right. It kind of throws things off, but at least we're not turf and now over to the dirt, at least synthetic. Some of that form will hold.
Yeah, it's speed on turf versus not speed on synthetic, which often makes me adjust my picks when you flip one or the other. I bet the 4 to win here. I'm surprised we're getting 7-1. I was expecting something closer to 7-2. So I took a little swing at the 4 in the first at Gulfstream Park. All right, let's head over to college basketball now. Got Purdue, the #1 team in the nation, going into Northwestern, who is not very good, yet the line just 4.5 here, Papa Dude. Total sitting at 131.5. What are you doing with this game?
I think Purdue covers this one. Northwestern is kind of sneaky though. They're pretty tough at home. They're fighting for a spot. Their record is pretty good. The Boilermakers coming off a loss in Indiana. I don't think Northwestern can handle their big guy inside. So I'm going to go Purdue. A lot of people I was looking at that I follow are picking the under in this game as well. So that one's one to look at. I can see a 65-56 type game, which would be way under. So I think either go under or take Purdue to cover.
I am going to agree with Dr. Tang here. I will take the plus 4.5 with Northwestern at home. I think they keep this close. I'm not sure they're able to win the game, but I do think it's going to be a close game. So give me the 4.5 with Northwestern. Aaron, who do you like?
Yeah, picking Northwestern breaks my #1 rule, which is never pick Northwestern. So I'm going to go with Purdue at anything. I'm going to go with Purdue to win this game today. If Papa Dude says go under, let's go under. We'll go under that 131.5.
I like it. All right, let's head over to the ice, talk about one game. We got 2 best bets actually coming from the NHL today on the non-Super Bowl best bets here. Start out here with the Seattle Kraken, -160 heading into Philadelphia, +135. Total sitting at 6.5. I'm sorry, Seattle shouldn't be a -160 favorite to anybody right now. The bubble has kind of burst there for the Kraken. Give me the Flyers +135. Aaron, tell me why I'm wrong.
I don't think you're wrong. I think if betting the Flyers here at +135 at home makes a lot of sense. I would also go over. It seems like the Kraken are cracking. And so I think, they're going to start to drop, and our St. Louis Blues probably going to catch them for that last playoff spot. So I'll go Flyers +135.
Yeah, that's just
what was that comment?
Yeah, he thinks the Blues are making the playoffs.
We won last night. Let's be happy for a day.
We won, but we lost.
I've never seen someone so happy that Sammy Biles is back on a hockey team. All right, Papa, who do you like here?
Yeah, you ever won a hockey game and you felt like you lost it?
Yes, last night.
As a Blues fan, I've done that a lot. Yes. Vice versa too. We've lost games. I feel like we've won as well.
Yeah. I'm just kind of with you guys too. I think the Kraken are starting to come down to earth. They need to get home. They've been on the East Coast coming out of the All-Star break, so they need to get home before we bury them. But I think the Flyers are a team that's playing really well. So I'm going to take the Flyers today as well.
All right, we got 3 on the Flyers +135. Interesting, they're getting a dog with agreement. We're going to head to Gulfstream Park, race number 9. Papa Dude's favorite, a maiden special weight for the race of the day here. I thought this one was pretty interesting. You got a couple interesting pletchers. Kind of like the Mott horse a little bit. Spoiler alert. Aaron, who are you putting on top here?
I put the one of the pletchers, number 5, Seduction, on top. This horse reminds me a lot of Arthur's ride yesterday for Bill Mott, where had some pretty good form as a 2-year-old. Now we've got time off and we're back. I think Seduction is going to show up and run a pretty big race today. Ran pretty well on debut at Aqueduct. I just kind of think the 5 is going to outclass him in this spot. Pletcher, he's been hot as usual. I think the 5 shows up with a good race.
Yeah, I have Seduction on top as well. 3 next out winners from that Aqueduct race where he ran second, including the winner, Good Sam, who came back to win. So I do think the 5 is going to be tough here. Don't sleep on the 3-horse 4 Noon. First-time starter for Bill Mott, Juddmont Farms, homebred here. I like the breeding. I like the fact that Castellano takes them out. And if you dig through the workouts, you got a 35 at Churchill on November 11th. They were thinking about starting there, ended up not doing it. Then you have a 48 out of a gate, a bullet on December 30th as well. After that December 30th workout, you can see these kind of normal Mott workouts. I think this horse is ready to fire pretty good right out of the gate. So I think the 5 and the 3 are the only 2 you need in this spot. And I might even put a win bet on the 3 if the 5 gets absolutely hammered. Papa Dude, who do you like here?
Well, Aaron knows I never pick a first-time starter. I just don't. I do like the 9, Shade. What a dumb name. So I can't pick it because it's a first-time starter and a stupid name. Shade. Who names these horses? I don't get it. There's got to why do you think that came from? Shade.
I don't know.
The dam's name is simply Sunny. So,
okay. All right.
Shade,
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. That makes a little sense.
Still
That's a little bit of clever, though. That's kind of clever. I kind of like that horse. It's got Ortiz on it. Ortiz Jr. is on that horse for Pletcher. Kind of going to go with Michael here. He says take the 5-9. That's what I'm doing. I got Seduction first and the 9 second.
It's a couple Pletchers there for you guys. I will take Seduction first, but take like the Mott. Did you look at that Mott horse at all, Aaron? Are you nearly as high as I am, or are you not kind of lukewarm on him?
I'm lukewarm on Mr. Mott in that race. I don't know. He's really tough with first-time starters. Sometimes they'll show up and run, and sometimes they are terrible. And I don't know. I'm 50-50 and arrogant first out. Not sure on that one, but we'll see. I mean, if you're going to try to beat those two favorites, that one makes about as much sense as any of them.
Yeah, Mott 8% first time out, but $1.36 ROI. One of the highest ROIs you will see at 8%, because when he wins, it's usually 7-1, 8-1, 9-1, because he doesn't get a ton of love because of that 8% on the first time starter. So if they pop, it's worth betting them. We'll see if it happens here today in Gulfstream's 9th race. All right, let's head over to the best bets of the day. I'll start out with Magic's here. He's going to take the Ducks Golden Knights under 6.5 after cashing his under easily yesterday, heading back to the same style there. Likes the Knights defense. Thinks the Ducks offense sucks. I'm guessing he thinks it's going to be around 4-1 at Golden Knights, somewhere in that range. Aaron, you took a total as well in the NHL. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm going Oilers Canadians, which starts here in about 10 minutes, over 6.5 today. Anytime the Oilers are on the ice, the chance is it's going to go over. They have got a dynamic offense, and their goaltending's not great. And so I think the Canadians at home will be able to score a few goals, and that'll be the key. You want to stay away from like a 4-1, like what you just mentioned, type of game. For Magic's best bet here, we want 4-3, we want 5-3. I think it's going to happen. So I'm going over that goal total this morning here with the Oilers and the Canadians.
All right, I'm going to head to Gulfstream Park for my best bet. I'm going to the 11th race on the card. I'm going to play the 2-horse Heals the Soul here, who is getting back to the level that he belongs at, $10,000 claimers. If you look back the last time he ran there, was able to win, going almost gate to wire, basically, with Miguel Vasquez aboard, comes back and runs in back-to-back-to-back state-bred 20K NWinX allowances. That was just a little bit over his head. We're getting back to the right level here. Love that 5-1 price. We'll see if we're able to get it. I think has a shot at being lone speed. The only other real threat's the 6. So hopefully the 2 can get out of the gate and run away from them. So give me the 2-horse in Gulfstream's 11th. 5-1 is my best bet. Papa Dude, take us back to the hardwood.
All right, we'll do. I agree with Sylvain on here. Let's not forget who's in net for the Canadians as well in that over that Aaron picked. You had Jake Allen in the net for the Canadians, so he's good to give up 3 easy right there before you ever start. So I think you're on your way to a good one there.
Sorry, Papa Dude. That was a crazy race in Gulfstream. I was making all kinds of faces while you're talking. Go ahead.
I'm used to it. Not nothing unusual.
The even money favorite beats a 25-1 shot with like one crazy late kick up the rail. It was nuts.
Didn't look like you were going to.
I'm surprised the even money favored won.
Me too.
Me too.
Like every time we do this show, the first race at Gulfstream's a 30-1, a 40-1, or 20-1.
Yeah,
I will say we mentioned the 6 Constitutionalist. If that horse gets on turf, I think he's got a shot at taking this level gate to wire. So I would stable that one up if it goes back to turf, because made the lead, went 23-3. You're never going to hold doing that in synthetic. I think getting back on turf could be a difference. You get a price on that horse too.
All right.
Go ahead, dude. Sorry.
What did he finish?
I think last.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he quit like a dog, but that means that you're going to get the value next time. That's the whole point.
True.
It's going to go to a surface that holds speed after running on a surface that doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
I always like to bet on dogs. Anyway, where am I? Oh yeah, here we go. This line, here's one of these fishy ones to me. I'm a little bit worried about this line. I looked up, I don't see injuries, so I don't know what's going on here. Michigan State is plus 3.5 against Ohio State that hasn't won a game since Christmas. It seems like I know they're on the road, but Ohio State is bad. They are not very good. And Michigan, and they're in disarray. They got all kinds of problems going on. I got a feeling we might see a coaching change. They just got some stuff going on there. Yes, they could put it all together, but they're pretty much out of any chance to make the NCAA tournament unless they win the Big Ten Conference Championship tournament, which they're not going to do. Michigan State is making their run like they do every year. They're like 15-9, something like that. They get this one to go. today. They go to 16-9. They're going to make it. I just don't like this line, but it's kind of fishy when we see this. But I think Michigan wins today, so I'm going to go Michigan plus 3.5 over the Buckeyes in Ohio.
And just to make things even smellier, Papa Dude, this is now sitting at 4 if you're looking at books. So this is actually getting steamed toward the home team in Ohio State here. It's got to be the home court advantage, right?
Do what?
It's got to just be the home court advantage, right?
Yeah, but they lost the other night to Michigan at home. And Michigan lost yesterday to Indiana, and that was in Michigan. I know Indiana's good. So I don't know why the home thing is playing anything here. There's just something weird going on.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up for our show. We'll go over the best bets first. Going to do this a little differently. I'll let each person talk through there since they have 2 Super Bowl bets that are not on here. I'll kick off mine here. My best bet, non-Super Bowl, I'm going Gulfstream Park, race number 11, the 2-horse, 5-1 on the morning line. My Super Bowl bets, give me the Chiefs first half team total over 10.5, and give me the Kansas City Chiefs longest field goal minus 120. So they'll kick a longer field goal than the Philadelphia Eagles. Aaron, you want to run through your best bets?
You bet. Oilers and the Canadians to kick it off here. Over 6.5 goals. That thing's going to start here in a few minutes. So go ahead and get that bet in now if you want to do it. A little morning hockey here if you're in the Central Time Zone. So going to go over there. We're going to go Chiefs plus 1 now. But, just play them on the money line as well. As I just think they're going to win this game. I don't think we're going to have to sweat it out. So that could be famous last words. And the prop I've really liked since Thursday, over 97.5 scoring yardage plays for the Chiefs tonight. I think they kick a couple of long field goals and get us there. That's the 3. It's going to be a big day. It started off with a winner at Gulfstream, and hopefully we just keep it on going.
Papa Dude.
All right. My best bet is Michigan State 3.5 against Ohio State. I like the Chiefs to win the game at plus 1.5. It's 1 now, whichever one you want to go with. And I'm going over 1.5 interceptions in the game. Also, I hope you can find something to do and not have to watch the drivel between 2:00 and 5:30 before the game starts.
And Magic's best bets here going Kelsey and Goddard, both over 50 receiving yards, plus 175 on that. That's a heck of a number. Under 51 for the game total. And he is going to take the Ducks and the Golden Knights under 6.5. Thank you very much for joining us all week. We'll be back Wednesday. Don't need the Super Bowl to keep betting. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern for all of our best bets around the sports and horse racing world. Good luck today at the track. And of course, enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll see y'all Wednesday.